Fantasy series love to do that. If I'm not going to read it now, when am I going to? We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Hello everyone and welcome back to another reading vlog. Today I'm in the mood to mood read. We have like a 24-hour period where I can just sit and mood read. It's Saturday, early evening, late afternoon. I have a book that I'm currently in the middle of reading that I want to get finished up today because I have had so many fun new books be sent to me. I have a really good TBR this month. I am just feeling motivated to pick up a book and read. I actually want to read quite a few things. I want to read some different genres. I'm in the mood to mood read, so that's what we're gonna be doing today. Waterstones sent me a copy of my Wild and Wrangled pre-order 3 days early, so I really want to read this. I'm currently reading To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods. This one doesn't come out until July, but I got an early copy of A Vow of Embers, and it is huge. Like, it's kind of like massive. It's like 500 pages, but I really want to read this. Book 1 was A Tribute of Fire, and I really loved that, and I've been thinking about the ending regularly, waiting for book 2. I think it's going to be a trilogy, but knowing I have book 2 physically with me, I want to read this month, even though it's not on my TBR. I do have Duskbound. Very, very excited to read this. I want to read it this month, and I have heard that it is even better than book 1, and book 1 was a 4-star read for me, so very excited to read and pick this one up. What else have we got? I've got some sports romance on my TBR this month. I also have some Elsie Silver books that I can read on Kindle Unlimited. I have a Hannah Gray's book or 2 I could pick up. Like, I'm in the mood for a little bit of romance, a little bit of fantasy, a little bit of romantasy, maybe a bit more. I don't know how many books that we will pick up in this specific vlog. Maybe 2, maybe 3, I guess we'll see. But I'm going to spend the next maybe 36 hours reading the remaining time of this weekend. So we're gonna spend this weekend reading books together. Now the aim for today, this one is honestly, it's under 350 pages. It is printed a little bit smaller. It'll take me a good few hours to get through, but I can definitely finish this tonight and then pick up something else. So, A Thrilling Tale of Magic, Murder, Intrigue and Betrayal, Cassandra Clare said. So far I've just read the setting up of this book, and it has been hitting the spot for wanting like a good fantasy, and I'm so excited to see where it goes because I've not heard anyone else speaking about this. So this is what we're starting with. Let's read book 1. So I would say that this book is definitely more of a like fantasy than a fantasy romance, but I do think there will be a romance subplot. All I have noticed in the first kind of 4 chapters is her writing is very, very beautiful. And there was this quote on page 12. And I think a good example of like the way that this book is written is this quote I'm going to read out. So it says, "Words were water, and one rumor could drown a girl's reputation for life." It's so simple, but it's still very poetic prose, but it's not overly done at all. I think it's very subtle, but it sticks with you, and I like that. It's a very, very good setup for the world, and it's also like taking all these typical phrases. Like, how many fantasy books have I even told you what this is about? Maybe we should start there. So it says, the back of the book, the blurb says, "For as long as Yang Ruing has been alive, the empire of Erlang has been occupied by Romans, who mercilessly destroyed the magic of her people. Now the invaders' advanced science, technology, and military make them gods. But Ruing is special, having been blessed by death and born with the ability to extract life from mortal bodies. When Antony, the second prince of Rome, uncovers Ruing's powers, he offers her an impossible deal. If she becomes his private assassin and eliminates his political rivals, her family will be protected. But can Ruing truly trust this prince whose promises of a better world make her heart ache and whose smile makes her pulse beat faster? 2 enemies are striking a dangerous bargain. Will they end a war or ignite one? She has a power over death, he has power over her." That is why I think we're gonna have this romance subplot, but right now we're really focusing on the fantasy, and it's definitely reading more like a fantasy than like a romantasy. I'm really enjoying it. The book is broken down into different parts. The chapters are all a pretty good length. Some of them are like a page or 2, others are like 4 or 5 pages. Some are a little bit longer. So it is quite varied, but I mean, I am only like 30 pages in, and the pacing has been good. We've got a really good setup. It doesn't feel like it's dragging on too much. It is a very atmospheric and descriptive world, and the way that we have been set up for this story, I can really kind of picture the setting of what it is. I feel like I'm transported in this space. So I have absolutely no idea where this book is going to go. on where the plot is going to go, but I know it's book 1 in a series, so I'm expecting a crazy ending or a cliffhanger or plot twist ending, because fantasy series love to do that. They love to like grab your attention and keep you thinking about the book until the next release. So we're just going to sit and read this. And we are also back in the living room. I love my reading room and I do read mainly in there, but because that is also my office and it's a weekend right now, I'm feeling this week that I need some separation from my office. So I want to kind of read on the couch. It's been a couple weeks honestly since I've sat through here and read, so changing it up today. So I'm around 50% of the way through this book. Honestly, the way that it is paced, it is just, I'm finding it so bingeable. I don't know if it's because it's what I'm in the mood for right now, but it's very easy to just fly through and binge. I really just blinked and we're halfway through already. It's quite entertaining. I feel like every chapter and scene so far, everything has felt intentional, but also nothing has dragged too long. We're moving through things very quickly once we have understanding, and it just feels like any extra fluff has been cut out. So I'm really enjoying the pacing of this. It's very easy to read. It's also young adult. It's young adult in the same way that the Ember Quartet is young adult, where it doesn't read like a children's book, but is just like a really well written YA fantasy. So it's a complex story, but the world building and the setting up and the magic system is very easy to understand. The way the author feeds us the information and builds upon it, it just breaks it down very easily. So even though there's a lot going on in a lot of different moving parts in this one, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more expansion onto the world and the magic system and the lore. We're slowly building upon that in an interesting way. I think it's very well constructed. I had to double check. At the start of the book, the author's note says that it is based upon the Russian and Japanese occupations of Manchuria. It's inspired by the Opium Wars as well. So while we do have like morally grey characters, we are, you know, in a war, and there's like a drug problem and a lot of murder. So it's not like a young YA book, but this is definitely a young adult fantasy book that is hitting for me. The book's been out for a year already. I think book 2 is coming out this year, but I think it was released in hardcover, so this is like a new paperback, and I'm up to the interlude section. I'm just gonna sit and binge and finish it. I've heard that the ending of this story is quite fun. I'm looking forward to getting to the end of that and seeing where it is, and then it's quite exciting to know that the second book should be coming out in 2025. I don't want to like look anything up because I don't want to spoil anything for myself, but I definitely will be looking up when book 2 is coming out, and this is a really interesting fantasy, so I'm going to continue reading. Wow, okay, we're finished. That was really quick. That's a really interesting fantasy book. I'm really intrigued for book 2 to see what the story's going. I want to look up how many books there are supposed to be. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'd rate it. I might have to sit on it and think. I'm thinking like something between like 3.75 or 4 stars, because that was a really interesting read, but also so quick. It hit the spot for a fantasy I was in the mood for. I'm kind of feeling like a palate cleanser now, so I might pick up a romance read next, but I think I'm gonna take a little break and then we'll come back a bit later for that. It is time to read our second book in this vlog. It's like a couple hours later, but I'm gonna pick up Wild and Wrangled. Now, I've read every other book in the series on my Kindle, so this is the first one I'm reading in paperback because the books are on Kindle Unlimited, but I do have this a few days early, and I think because I have it early, it would be a wasted opportunity to not read it now. I'm also really in the mood for this, so we're gonna read Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage. It is the 4th book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. I believe it's the final book. These are very short, fun, spicy cowboy romances, part of an interconnected series. So we've been building up and leading up to this couple in this specific story, and I'm really interested. So far, book 3 has been my favorite. Book 1 and 2 I didn't really care too much for, but they were so short and just bingeable. Book 3 I loved, so I'm hoping that I will also enjoy this because I think the books have gotten better with with each release. This is a single mum, and our main male character has spent his like entire life being in love with this girl who, so I think it's second chance romance maybe, but I'm excited. So we're gonna go start this now. That's Cooper having a drink. Hydrate, everyone. I have spent most of this afternoon in this specific spot, but it's been nice to just relax today and just chill. Hasn't it, Coops? You have slept at my feet all day. We see all of the Cooper comments. I read every single one out to Cooper so she knows how loved she is. She really is the star of the show in this channel. And my little best friend, aren't you? Your birthday's coming up soon. Your birthday's gonna be next month. You can be 5 next month. My little baby girl. Brown noise is going on the headphones. First line has me because I am literally Cam. In my opinion, there was almost nothing better than a good checklist. Crossing things off was probably the best feeling in the world. Yeah. Same. I also completely forgot for a second there how book 3 ended, which was the setup for this 4th and final book, and now I'm even more invested. Okay, so I read the book and I was at like 70 pages, and I said to myself, oh, just read till I get to 100 and then stop. Then I got to 100 and I was like, oh, let me just read like another chapter or 2. And now we're like 140 pages in. So getting close to halfway, because this is second chance. I mean, most of the characters in this book or this series, other than like book 2, already had previous history with each other or knew each other because it is small towns. They've grown up together, they know each other, they're siblings, friends and things like that. But we don't really meet the main male character in this book. He's not super present in the other 3 books, but because they had a previous history in high school, every couple of chapters we're getting a flashback to 15 years ago and getting to see their relationship from when they first met in high school to whatever happened for them to like not speak again for like 10 years. So I'm kind of obsessed with that. It's just bingeable. I do think Lila Sage's writing has gotten better with each book, but I'm really enjoying this and I'm flying through it. Like I'm already dreading finishing it because I'm not gonna have anything else to read. I can't wait to see what she writes next, but there's just something about small town cowboy romances that will always hit. After this, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to go back and pick up an Elsie Silver book or something because I need small town romance. I need more of it. So I have the Gold Rush Ranch series to read, but I will have finished the Rebel Blue Ranch. I'm up to date with the Rose Hill series, and I've read the Chestnut Spring series. I haven't read any other small town or cowboy romances. That's as far as I've kind of gotten with just like Elsie Silver and Lila Sage. So if anyone has any, you can probably hear Cooper snoring. I'm sorry if you can. She's literally right here just snoring. If anyone has any recommendations for other small town romances, doesn't necessarily have to be cowboy romances, but like small town, bonus points if interconnected, but anything that gives the vibes of like this. Lots of tropes. It's just fun. They're always tropey, like single dad or second chance or best friend's brother. It's just a giggly time. Oh, they're just the perfect palette cleansers, but this is so good. I've been so excited for this book to come out and I'm so glad that I finally have it. But I'm also so sad that it's gonna be done. Yeah. This reading vlog is literally just spending 24 hours with me and Cooper. She's so cute. We have moved to the bed to finish off the reading. You wanna come sit on my lap? Anyways, I'm going to finish Wild and Wrangled, and then I'm honestly in the mood for a Tribute of Fire. If I want to read a bit more on my Kindle tonight, then I'll probably read Duskbound instead, because I have that's on Kindle Unlimited, but the second book in A Tribute of Fire isn't out yet. So if I just read this and then decide to go to sleep, then maybe we'll just pick the physical book up tomorrow. But we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I'm getting ahead of myself. I still have half of this book to read, so. I finished. It's done. This was really fun, guys. This was really sweet. I think 4 stars for this. I think this was the perfect book to end the series, and I'm really excited to see what Lila Sage writes next, but I'm also going to miss this series and these characters because I love everyone and everything. I also think the first 2 books in this series, well, the first one for sure, was very lusty very quickly, and because it's like it was less than 300 pages, it just moved really quickly. But both books 3 and book 4, this one, you get like 60-70% of the way through before anything even happens, so it's a much slower burn. We have all the background context, the characters and their dynamics from previous books to build upon, and we kind of already go into the books knowing who they are and a bit of their story. So getting to find out more information about everyone and everything and then seeing the story unfold was just, yeah, very rewarding. I really enjoyed the payoff. There were only 2 or 3 spicy scenes, so I definitely think that the first 2 books were the spiciest. I really enjoyed books 3 and book 4, so if you have read the series or you gave up after book 1 or 2, definitely pick it up because it does get better. This was so sweet. I loved the flashback scenes. I think they made it so good. So I'm actually gonna go to sleep now because I'm a bit tired, so we'll pick up another book tomorrow, and I don't know what we'll read, but we'll figure it out tomorrow. How many times am I gonna say tomorrow? Cooper and I are gonna go to sleep. I need to put her in her own bed because she doesn't sleep in the bed with me, and Cam will be home soon, but yeah. So it is the next morning. I am picking up my next book, my 3rd book of this reading vlog, and I really do want to read Duskbound or A Vow of Embers, but I am in the mood for something a little bit shorter. I don't know, I'm feeling like maybe I should read a book on my TBR for this month, and then after that I can go and read one of the other 2 because then I can take my time with it a bit more and indulge in it. But right now I'm in the mood to kind of just like binge something, so I think we're just gonna take, this is my TBR at the top here, I think I'm maybe gonna read Lord of the Wilds, because if I don't read it now I'm never going to read it, and I'm in the mood to read a hardcover, to be honest. And yeah, this is under 350 pages for a hardcover, printed quite big. So after reading my Fairy Loot books in that reading vlog video, I just want to kind of pick up hardcovers. So this one has been on my TBR for the longest time, and it's kind of at a point where if I'm not going to read it now, when am I going to? And I have been in the mood for this. I think I'm in the mood for love triangles. I'm in the mood for more than one love interest. I want to kind of work to get that final, you know, love interest and romance. So I'm hoping this is this seems like it will be a love triangle of some sort. So I think let's read Lore of the Wilds. And we're gonna do some reading in here. I've just made a coffee, so I'm gonna sit, read my book. That's it, that's what we're here for. We're here to just sit and read. All I know about this book is the blurb. In a land ruled by ruthless fae, 21-year-old Lore's village is trapped in a forested prison. Lore knows that any escape is futile. Her scars are a testament to her past failures. When her village is threatened, Lore makes a desperate deal with the Fae Lord. She convinces him that she will risk her life for wealth, but really she's after the one thing the Fae covet above all, magic of her own. As Lore navigates the hostile world outside of her village, she's forced to rely on 2 Fae males to survive. When undeniable chemistry ignites, she's not just in danger of losing her life, but also her heart to the very creatures she can never trust. So the perfect cottagecore book about books with a love triangle that will keep you guessing. Yeah, this is what I'm in the mood for. So we're gonna read this. I'm very excited. I have intentionally not looked up the reviews or ratings for this book because I don't want to go in it with any preconceived ideas or assumptions, but what I have seen is people do enjoy this. Whether it's going to be a 3-star read, a 4-star read, a 5-star read, who knows, but I'm expecting at least maybe like a 3.5-star read or around that. Anything above a 3 would be good for this. I'd like it to just be a bit more than okay. So let's read Lore of the Wilds, our 3rd book in this reading vlog. Just over 60 pages in, we're on chapter 8, and so far it's just been setting up the story, and we don't really know what's going on, but we know what's going on. Great explanation, Em. I'm actually really enjoying this though. I don't know what it is, I'm just in the mood for almost like cozier fae fantasy stories right now. So far, no complaints. It's not like super fast paced, we are like taking our time setting up the scene. So far, the first 60 pages I have enjoyed reading, and I just kind of got lost in my book there for a little bit, but I'm very excited to continue reading. I think this is going to be a fun one to binge, but I'm intrigued to see where the story's going to go because I have no idea where it's going to go. Cooper is obviously cozy there. I am at chapter 21. We are like 230 pages in, so we only have a little bit left to go now. I did mark this book as currently reading on Fable and Goodreads, and I tried not to look at the description or synopsis for book 2 because I wasn't sure if this was going to be a series or what, and I saw that there's a second book being released very soon in the next couple months, and I think it's a duology because I just saw conclusion to this series, so I think this is going to be a duology, and I think it would be an interesting duology. I wasn't too sure where it was going for a little bit there, and now I'm like, oh, okay, I can see it. Yeah, now it's making sense, because the first part of it, we were kind of in one main setting for a good chunk of the book, and I thought that maybe the whole story would be there, but no, we've moved, we're in a different part of the world. I wasn't expecting that, but I was waiting for like a different part of the plot to come from like the synopsis. So I was like, where is this leading to? Where is this going? We're getting quite far in, but now we've hit it. I'm like, yeah, this makes sense now. Okay. So I am really enjoying it. It's definitely more of like a cozier fantasy vibes. I think if you like fairy tale fantasy, fae books, and where we have like a human main female character who ends up in a fae world, but it's a cozier setting because she's working in this enchanted like magical library that the fae can't enter, but humans can. There's just a couple different things going on in this story. So the chapters are quite short, it's very easy to binge. I'm having a fun time with it. It's not going to be like a 5-star god tier favorite series, but I'm really enjoying it, and I was in the mood for this, so this is hitting the spot for me. I do wish we had a little bit more character development, or you know, fleshing out these characters before moving on with specific plot points, because I'm not like super heavily invested in some of the characters that I think that I should be caring about, but the plot is definitely the most interesting part to me right now, and I do like our main female character. I just wish we had like a little bit more character development, because it is moving quite quickly for development we've had, you know. But again, it is a short story for like a fantasy or fantasy romance, and I think I'm just going to sit and binge the rest of the book, honestly, because I'm struggling to put it down. I said a couple chapters ago that I would pause and update, but I just kept reading. I was like, I'm gonna finish this book before I update the vlog, so I'm definitely going to just sit and finish it now, and then we can talk about it when we're done. Got like 100 pages left to go. So I have finished this book. Wow, the last like 50 pages? Was not expecting that. I think I stand by what I say earlier, where I think I would have liked the characters and things to have been a bit more fleshed out before we like dove straight into these, you know, the plot basically, just so that I maybe, I don't know, cared a little bit more about certain characters. But plot twists were really plot twist in there. How interesting. Not what I thought. I definitely do want to read book 2. I think it will work as a duology. I don't think it needs to be any longer than that, and I'm glad that there are authors out there writing fun little fantasy romance duologies, because we don't always need a 7-book series for, you know, a fantasy book to hit. So I really enjoyed this. I think I would say 3.5 stars because it is fun. I will be continuing on the series. I would recommend it, and I'm glad that I read it. It was so easy to read. It did slow down at some points, but it is a shorter fantasy story, so definitely if you like a bit more of like a cozy kind of fairy tale fantasy. The woods are a big part of this setting and this story, and you know, we've got like a castle and a library, and our main female character she's kind of a healer, but a very interesting read. I'm excited that the next book is coming out quite soon. It will still be fresh in my head to be able to pick this up in the next couple of months, and I will be pre-ordering that book, and I'm excited to see how it plays out, because the ending has thrown me off so much. It's gonna play out completely differently to what, wow, yeah, it's actually gonna play out quite different to what I thought. So that is a weekend of reading with me and Cooper. I am probably gonna go and start another book now. I'm gonna end the vlog here. You'll have to make sure that you are subscribed to see the next reading vlog to see what books I pick up next. And if you've made it all the way to the end of this video, comment a butterfly emoji, because there's no moth emoji. I would say a moth emoji for this book, but there's no moth emoji, so we'll say a butterfly. All right, bye guys.